At this point, I need to be a child. Ajebo joins me right now from our Lagos studio. Listen, the problem is this, Ajebo. Let me tell you what the problem is. Usually, when my cousins are watching this, I put it on so that I can do other things, right? That's the whole point. So they're singing and they're vibing. The problem with this is I'm vibing too. I am like, let's go. I'm like, yeah, apples and bananas.
Right.
Hey. That is the problem. I'm not supposed to enjoy it this much. I am not supposed to be distracted by this. Why does it get to me? I'm not a child. What did you do there?
Okay, so thank you very much for that question. So that's the innovation that we've brought to it. What we have done is, over the years, most of our content for kids have been, have come from the Western world. And you know how they say, he who pays the piper dictates the tune, right? So a lot of parents are not even aware that, a lot of things are mixed into this content, a lot of things that children should not be knowing as children, especially in this age where we are, where, a lot of debate is going into, sexuality, and then they're bringing children into it. There's a lot of things out there, that we don't need to go into them, So for me, what I decided to do, I have 3 kids and I'm very concerned about what they watch. So I said, you know what? We can as well we can either fold our arms and do nothing, or we can solve that problem by giving our kids quality education. And this time around, putting a blend of Afro-Fusion. So it has the Afro bounce. I mean, some of the songs are in piano without altering the actual quality of the message being passed across. We have some original song teaching children about, about bullies, about love, kindness, sharing, caring. And you see the kids are wearing contemporary African style. They are black. They have you see the blend of Ankara. Their moms are constantly, their mom is constantly wearing like the touch of the African hair tie. It's just contemporary. So it also helps in shaping their identity, right? Because you see, for a very long time, especially with the 90s kids, it just seemed like everything we're exposed to, the Western stuff were for the rich kids, So that's why you still have to now, someone speaks with the Yoruba accent or the Igbo accent and you're laughing at the person. No, it just felt like we're too exposed to Western culture. It now felt like that was the in thing, that if you can't speak Fone, you're not doing well, So these are some of the problems that we're tackling and we're trying to solve. We want kids to see themselves in these characters. We want the message to come to them in what they are used to, which is the Afro sound, right? The African outfit, right? And then we have also infused, some places all around Africa, We have the Lekki Toll Gate in some of our songs. We have, landmark places all around Africa. So basically, they can, it helps make them feel like this is our own thing. We can grow being comfortable in our own skin, in our accent, and we can learn while at it, basically. And we also are solving the problem where you go to children's parties, you see that children are dancing to adult songs. For this, they can vibe to it, You can take a 3-hour party with our songs. We have a library of over 300 songs, right?
I like that I really like what you're doing. And I think for me, one of the challenges that I would say has come out of this is a lot of parents wanting to reduce screen time for their kids, saying that, okay, you know what, there's something that happens to the kids where they're just lost in this, So how do you think this system that you have with Jeni and Keni is also making sure that the kids are not lost in what they're watching, and that fear of too much screen time is alleviated for the parents who are going to want to do this?
Okay, so whether or not, no matter how good the content is, as a parent, you must regulate screen time. That's standard, and that's for your child to be able to balance, because, I have 3 kids. You don't give them too much screen time, So what we are working on is what you show them when you want them to have their screen time. So that's what we're working on. I've seen content where, why not discriminate against what the Western world is, whatever they decide to do, you know? But for African parents, a lot of them have pulled out, taking the tabs from the children, because you see some content teaching children, you see the two bears, two daddies, right? Two mummies, you know, and you see them teaching them, do you know the actual content for kids, teaching children how to hurt themselves? You know, we're talking about how kids are on roadblocks and then, you know, they're being exposed to predators. There's a lot of things happening. A lot. So it's not just about giving them the screen and then leaving them for 1 hour. You know, there has to be intentionality in parenting. We're learning every day, and I'm learning on the job. I mean, 3 daughters is so you know, so we're making sure that when it is screen time, they are learning the right things, they're imbibing the right values, and you know, we're investing in their future. It's very easy to, you know, I always make reference to the 80s and 90s kids. We watched foreign content so much that, you know, it till now, it's still shaped who we are. Some of us don't even want to watch Nigerian movies. We go like, you know, we do only, it did not say it like it's a thing of pride. We do only American movies. Like, yo, you know, that things are changing, times are changing. You don't see an Indian man laughing at another Indian man because he has Indian accent. You don't see it happening with the Chinese, you know. So we should have Nigerians appreciating their culture, appreciating their values, appreciating our sound. You know, Afrobeat is doing well across the world, and we want our kids to be part of what's going on. It's a movement, and we're getting on it.
I like that. Now, talk to me about your foray into animation. I, for one, didn't know that this was your thing. At what point did you tap back into that side of you? Because I've always known you to be
Really?
a comedian. Yeah, I was actually quite intrigued by it. I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
Animation dates back to like 2012. I mean, we had the first set of skits in 2012. The aboki, you get bread, the mishai, you get bread, you know, fry 7 egg, you get sardine. That trend, in fact, it's still trending till now. You know, at the end it says cut 10 naira on. You don't remember that skit? Anyway, it was my work back in the days. We had, you know, several, and then in 2016 we introduced a new character. Tegwolo, champion of Warri, the little boy with the long head. You know, he's hot topic amongst, yes, exactly. So Tegwolo, we have over 2.2 million subscribers on YouTube as we speak. Tegwolo is a big deal globally right now. We've been telling the African story for over 12 years now, the African story. Tegwolo is relatable. If you grew up in Nigeria, you grew up in Africa, trust me, you will be able to relate with the stories. You know, growing up in an African home with his African mom and all that, all the drama, they send you a message and how your African mom can speak to you with her eyes. Okay, I'm going out. Before I come back, wash the plate. If you like, don't wash it. You know what? You know, all of that story, that's what makes up, you know, the Tegwolo brand, and it's been accepted. It's been accepted so well. It's hot topic in secondary, primary, even universities. Young people love it. Old people love it. It's a beautiful family brand, and even Nigerians in diaspora, they love it. You know, so this is actually what everybody has known House of Ajebo for the last 12 to 13 years. Jeni and Keni is, you know what? Let's solve a problem, and then we just launched Jeni and Keni last year.
You know, I actually remember this, you know, I actually do. And to be honest, the shape of the head always just got me. I was like, why this? Just why? Why this? It reminds me of those kids in secondary school, in primary schools where, you know, they just look different. And
you know,
usually, yeah, they just look different. You can't explain why. You don't, they're not even aware. They're just unaware. But I definitely can relate to a lot of the things that we've seen here. Now, looking at the future of our creative economy, I definitely think animation is here to stay. But we have an important We have a deficit, I would say, which is the skill, learning about it, understanding it, it being a part of curriculum from secondary schools, even before kids get into university. The fact that a lot of things that make the creative industry stand out today, you only know about it from social media. It's not something that is taught in the classrooms like other things, like becoming a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer. How do you think we can incorporate things like this, what you do, into our system in terms of education for the younger generation, the next generation of creatives?
That's a very, very beautiful question. So first off, it starts from the home. It starts from the home. I make bold to say that I told this part because my parents caught the vision very early, you know. I'm an 80s kid, but in that time, every parent wanted to be mama lawyer, mama doctor. But I told my parents I wanted to be a comedian. I literally searched for a university around the world where I could study comedy. That's literally, you know. And so it was funny that at the time they tapped into it. So what I'm trying to say is, first off, parents need to understand that we're in the era of specialization. If your child wants to play football, start training him from childhood. If he wants to play golf, start training him from childhood. If your child is giving signs of public speaking, start training them already, right? By the time we start this training, you see that naturally it's going to snowball into pulling it in as part of the extracurricular activities. My kids in school, they dance ballet, they do chess, they do all of this, and these things can also be incorporated into, you know, and in fact, the Ministry of Education should be looking into this at this point, because things have evolved and we have to evolve with it, right? We need to start to teach kids from primary school. Don't even wait till university. And you don't wait for the government. Do not wait for the government. Start training your child. This is such a huge market, and it's something that thrives in all fronts. You know, even if you're a business person, people are selling every day online. People are making huge sales in all fronts, everywhere. Look at, even, I used to tell my friends, if Tony Elumelu can make content, who are you? Like, he goes everywhere and you see content because you need it for personal branding, you need it to sell your product, you need it to, you know, so digital skills are a necessity in the modern world. You know, if you see some videos of Chinese kids, they're already learning how to produce different stuff as children. So this is something that I think the Ministry of Education needs to look into. But like I said, do not wait for the government. Start in your home and make sure that your children get the right training, the right orientation from now, from childhood. The first 5 years, very crucial, and you can hone it early.
I couldn't agree with you more, Ajebo. This has been such an insightful conversation. Thank you so much for coming over. It's so lovely to see you again. It's been a while.
Thank you for having me.
It has been a while. We're going to take a look at one of those very fun Jeni and Keni, right? Is that it? Jeni and Keni clips. And I hope
Jeni and Keni. Jeni and Keni.
Okay, Jeni and Keni clips. I feel like one of those. It's the songs you know, but just make it Afrobeat and then you can relate, right?
And do as I do. My head, my shoulders, my knees, and toes. Are you ready? Let's go. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. 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 My head, my shoulders, my knees, my toes. My head, my shoulders, my knees, my toes.
You love fruit vegetables? Cause I love my vegetables. I love my veggies. My veggies. My veggies. My veggies. I love my veggies. My veggies. Yum, yum, yum. I love my veggies. My veggies. My veggies. My veggies.
Oh, MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on his farm he had some cows, E-I-E-I-O. With a moo-moo here and a moo-moo there.